believers, this is Little Experience and welcome to my long-awaited, only by me, manga collection video. I have just been in the shower, just on my hair's like slicked back, but it's short and it'll dry quickly, so throughout this video, watch it just, sink to the sides. Anyways, behind me you'll notice my shelves are a little messier than usual. That is because I have taken down volume 1 of every series I own, so that I can move down the line and go over them all with you. So honestly, without further ado, let's get started. First volume of manga, we have, I should have read the title before I flipped it around, 5 Seconds Before a Witch Falls in Love. This is number 1 because it starts with the number and alphabetically it's where it goes. So this manga is a very short, just one-off, Yuri romance. It was mid, it was okay. I've really gotten into collecting specifically Yuri romances, not like sexual ones, just wholesome ones. So that's why I picked this one up. But, it was cute. It was okay. Yes, next is volume 1 of the Ace Attorney manga. It's cute, and I love it. Ace Attorney is just solid, Maya Fey, waifu for the generations, and it's great. And this is not the only Ace Attorney manga I have. I also have the complete 4 volumes. I should have written stuff down. I also have all of the volumes for the Miles Edgeworth side story spin-off. Official terminology, up for debate. I also have the Ace Attorney official casebook. So the first volume is all focused on Phoenix, and the second volume is all focused on Edgeworth, which I have both, but technically they are the same series, so I only grabbed one of them. These ones are cute little one-off short stories, little 4-coma style occasionally, and they're all done by a different artist. So actually a really fun addition to the collection. Next, we have more Yuri romance, After Hours. I had higher hopes for this one. Again, it was okay. Then we've got my first omnibus, is that how you say that? The Another manga. Love this one. I'm a big horror fan, and Another is just top tier horror manga. Then we've got starting my collection of LGBT focus. So obviously there's the Yuri romances, but as a non-binary person myself, I love when I can find representation of non-binary people. So this one's actually an autobiography called At 30 I Realized I Had No Gender, and it's an autobiography of the mangaka. I love this because I'm also a late bloomer for realizing my gender. Not quite 30, but it just really, I don't know, it's affirming to see that, not only is my identity valid, but also discovering it later is also valid. Really enjoyed it. Alright, we're on to my second pile now. I think this is the first that isn't technically a manga, but I categorized it with the rest anyways, because I feel like it fit, and that is, drumroll please, Battle Royale. I read it, and once I started, I read it so quickly. It's so good. The novel is so good. Highly recommend. Then we've got one of my first purchases from a fantastic website I discovered too late in life called Thrift Books. So Thrift Books, as it basically sounds, is a website where you can buy used books, which is fantastic for manga collectors. Bloody Monday. Actually, I might be lying to you. I think I bought this volume 1 at an anime convention. I do want to keep getting the new volumes because it's a really interesting series. I'm not sure I'd call it horror per se, but it's definitely a thriller, which is, horror thriller, some of my favorite things. So, awesome series, oldie but a goodie from what I can tell, and I can't wait to read more. Thank you, Thrift Books. Back to the LGBT with the one-off Boy Meets Maria. This one, trigger warning, I reread it recently, and I totally forgot that there was some triggering scenes in there, and I was like, oh boy, I'm not gonna lend that to my students. But otherwise it's kind of just a wholesome coming of age, discovering your gender and sexuality kind of story with a focus on theater. Then we got another LGBT one that I picked up, but this one I really enjoyed because while Boys Run the Rat, while the main character is a trans man, focus is also on streetwear, and I don't know if you can tell, I'm not a very fashionable person myself. But I do love other people who have a really set in stone sense of style. So I'm an admirer of fashion, just not a participant in fashion. Anyways, I thought with that as kind of the theming to go along with the exploration of gender, because I feel like gender and fashion really do go hand in hand. No, Boys Run the Riot was super good. Now we've got a volume I've had for a while, and boy do I have a story for this one. I have the 2 volumes that are the omnibus versions of Chobit, so I have the complete series. I remember I read this in middle school. And this was back when, anime and manga weren't very popular, and I was the weird kid for enjoying it. And people also, I don't know why this was the case, but people also assumed always that, like, manga and anime was, like, lewd. Always. Like, obviously, a lot of times it is. I mean, look. But, like, they were like, oh, it's lewd, it's porn. Essentially, people thought I was reading porn, and I was like, it's not porn. So somebody grabbed this book for me. I bet I can find the page, too, where it happened. They grabbed this manga from my hands and opened it to a random page. There we go. There, the part where he like turns chi on, and there's like titty and like, and then they looked at me and they're like, not porn. And I'm like, it's not. You opened it to like the one worst page. Anyways, Chobits is really cute. Maybe the series I'm most ashamed to own, which is Citrus. Okay, I was getting listen. Hear me out. For those of you who know, you know. The reason I have this series is because a friend of mine was selling the complete collection, and because I'm a manga collector, the idea of buying a full series for really cheap appealed to me, and I was just getting into Yuri romances, so I have the complete collection of Citrus. Now I get to tell you about probably my most prized possession, which isn't the volume I'm showing, but it's the other volumes in the series, which is the Corpse Party manga. I had no sweet clue until I posted on Reddit about my manga collection that I had, like, rare volumes of manga. Because I think I pretty much bought the complete series, like, 1 through 5, when they were released. Apparently, you can't get, like, volumes 3 and 4 anymore. I think 4 specifically seems to be the one people have the hardest time finding. So, like, the idea that I own a rare manga is so cool, because, like, I just bought it at Indigo when it released. Following from that, I also included this one because technically it's its own series. I do have the Corpse Party Book of Shadows. This one is not rare. This one I think I could still find at Indigo or Chapters if I go. But I really liked this one. Good stuff, and my girl Ayumi is kind of a big focus in this one. She's not best girl. She's dumb girl with bad ideas and decisions, but we love her anyways. So yeah, Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Now we get to some of the cool stuff in my collection, other than, the really rare manga. More cool stuff. I have a Japanese manga from Danganronpa. I think this is like a 4-koma, like, funny style of Danganronpa. I don't know what it's about, because I can't read Japanese. The reason I have this is because when I was in Japan in 2018, I was checking out a mall, and just by chance, they had a Danganronpa pop-up shop, and it was so cool, and I wanted to buy something from it. So I bought, this. Then, of course, continuing with Danganronpa, we've got the volumes 1 through 4 of the original game adaptation series. And then we have one of the coolest things in my collection. It may just look like Danganronpa 2 Volume 1 to you, but they used to take fan mail back in the days. This was the last copy, if I'm not mistaken, that they accepted fan mail for. And who's that beach? It's me. I mean, I promise, it really is. Like, look, you can see, those are the same glasses I'm wearing. Oh, God, that's Brian Beacock. He's the voice of, Monokuma in the English video game, so I got to meet him, and I was cosplaying as Aoi Asahina. Best girl. Aoi Asahina is best girl. So yeah, I'm in the back of the manga, and so are some of the cosplay pictures. So this was the Danganronpa group that I joined, and that's, like, in, like, a city in my province, and we're in the how cool is that? I get to tell people I'm in a manga. If you go to the bookstore, because they still sell these series, you can just open it to the back and be like, that's me. It's me in the back. Honestly, coolest thing ever, actually. Oh, no, it's not this one. It's the first volume. I had this one. There we go. I had it signed by Brian Peacock. Peacock? Is that the way? Yeah. Monokuma. Pretty cool stuff. I think, anyways. This guy's side story. I hate this character so much. So, reading his point of view wasn't ideal, but I did it. What was better was Danganronpa Another Episode, where we get to focus on... I am ashamed of myself for not remembering her name. Toko! Duh, Toko, I'm a fake fan. Toko and then Makoto's sister. I thought this series was pretty good. Then we have my favorite manga series. And I'm so mad the anime did it so dirty, because it's so good. Little Experiences, #1 manga series, Dead Man Wonderland. This is the first series, like, I was collecting, volume, and I believe it's the first series I collected all volumes for, and it's so good. The anime adaptation did Dead Man Wonderland so hecking dirty that, like, it's hard to recommend because people seen the anime be like, that's trash. And I'm like, no, it's not, I promise. Read it instead. I love Dead Man Wonderland. It is so good, and it should have been done better justice. But at least I'm happy the manga is fantastic. Alright, we're finishing up another pile of books with Dengeki Daisy. This is a series that I got as a present, I think. Basically, I was just given a giant box of miscellaneous manga as a gift once. And this is one of the few things that had, like, a whole series, like, from 1 to, like, whatever, with no, like, gaps in the middle. It's a cute little wholesome thing. Questionable age difference with the main characters, but them's the way it goes. Doubt. I read... A friend of mine in high school lent me the first volume, and I really liked it, but I didn't own it. So I didn't want to go buy the second volume, so what I did instead was I just visited the bookstore twice, and I read half of volume 2 in one day before, like, the salespeople got suspicious, and then I left, and then I came back another day to just read the second half of the book, but I am happy to say I now officially own volumes 1 and 2, and it's a solid, like, horror mystery. Then we've got, are you ready? More Yuri. This one is so wholesome. Donuts Under the Crescent Moon. So wholesome. Anyone who thinks Yuri and Yaoi is all sexual, no it is not. This one is sweet. It's only 4 volumes, I think, and they're really short too. But it's so cute. It's so cute. I loved it. 10 out of 10. Maybe not like 10 out of 10, actually, but it's really good. If you're looking for a Yuri romance, Donuts is a good one. Then we've got... I don't know if this is actually a manga. This is not something I purchased. It's called Dramacon. This is one of the ones I got in that, like, mixed box of manga, and I'm pretty sure the author of this, I don't actually know where the writer of this is from, but it's about, like, Americans at anime conventions, which is a really interesting concept as a fan of anime who goes to anime conventions. But I went and tried to look this up on my anime list to add to my manga list, and it didn't show up, so I don't know how many people think or agree that this is a manga, but, oh, you know what? You don't even read it backwards either. It's a part of the collection. I have it. We've got a light novel entry. So I know light novels are not manga, but they are the inspiration behind some manga or behind some anime, and Durarara is a fantastic one. I love this series. I watched it way after it was popular, but when I went to Japan in 2018, I was in Ikebukuro so much, and I had, like, just watched Durarara, and it was so exciting. And the light novel series is actually really good. I love how it's written, like the narration style, and I can't wait to buy and read more. Alright, we've got another chunky one right now, Elfen Lied. The anime of Elfen Lied? I still don't know. I've checked so many times and I still don't know. I did feel like I was missing a good chunk of what happened in the story, and now I'm not. Fooly Cooly. I have nothing to say about this. I've read it, and I don't know. I don't understand what happened. We're going with next, Food Wars. Oh, I love Food Wars. I just think it's a great series. I love food. It makes me very hungry to read and watch. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I've not finished this series. I don't have all the volumes, but I did get a whole chunk of them at the last anime convention I went to, so I'm getting there. Fruits Basket. I have no excuse for not having finished, like, collecting this series yet. I just keep buying other volumes instead. I think I have up to volume 5 of the collector's edition. Next, we have Hagnai. I only have volume 1 of this. I was intrigued by the title because at the time I was a loner with no friends, so having a book called Hagnai, I Don't Have Many Friends felt relatable. One day I'll finish the series because I have volume 1, so I gotta now. Harui. This is the first manga I ever read. I love Harui. She's great. Yuki, again, Harui and Yuki, best girls. It's a good series. Can't wait to finally finish it. Italia! I was a big fan of this anime. I recognize it's very problematic as a series these days, but I still enjoy it. I want to finish the series so bad. I have the first 2 volumes, which is the first arc, and I have the first volume of the second arc, but there's like 20,000 story arcs in this series, and it's so confusing. Horror. I want good horror, and I think this is it. I just need to get my hands on it. Then we've got a side story to a light novel series I have. So the light novel series is The Irregular at Magic High School. This is the side story that focuses on the sister instead of the brother. I think it's good, like, supplementary reading material. I enjoy it. Yuri romance! How do we relationship? most toxic relationship ever in this series. My god, you two are terrible for each other. Just break up already. Just break up already. Stop getting back together. Alright, folks, we've got 6 piles left. Oh god, can we do it? I'm gonna have to edit this down. Next, we've got some of the best. So I'm showing these both at the same time. You might be familiar with I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. This one I think has an anime adaptation. But this one, I Had That Same Dream Again, is by the same author. Both of these were originally light novels. These are the manga adaptations of those light novels. And oh my god, if you want to cry. So I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is about a terminally ill girl and the classmate who discovers the secret. And you go into this thinking, like, at the very beginning, you know she's going to die. She's terminally ill. Like, that's not a spoiler. But then so you think, okay, I'm prepared. Boy, are you not prepared for what happens in this. I was reading this at the kitchen table, and my stepmom was sitting across me, and I just started, like, sobbing, and she's like, is it sad? And I just looked up, and I'm like, so good, though. Personally, though, my favorite of the two is actually I Had That Same Dream Again. I was reading this late at night, and I kept wanting to put it away, but I really, like, I wanted to finish. I went to bed so late, my eyes were so sore because I wanted to finish this. It is so cute. And you think, like, you're reading about an elementary school girl, like, she's the main character, and you kind of go into it, like, how can I relate to her? But it is so relatable. It's a coming-of-age story with a plot twist that, okay, most people see the plot twist coming really early, but the fact that doesn't detract from the story at all. Like, even if you predict it, it's still such an emotional story, and it's so relatable, and it's so good, and it makes me cry every time, and oh god. God, I could go for a good cry right now. But, ignoring crying, let's go horror, Ibitsu. It's okay. It's fine. It's mid-horror. Here we go, Irregular Magic High School, what I was telling you about. I actually posted a review of this, 3-4 years ago, where I talked about the book. I think the review still stands today, and how I feel about it. Judge! You'll recognize, I think, the cover. This is not a direct sequel to Doubt, but definitely, like, in the same universe and same kind of vibes as Rabbit Doubt. It's okay. I like it. Kimi no Todoke. I know this is a really popular romance. I've not actually read this yet. This is one of the ones that came in my mystery box of manga, and I just haven't actually gotten around to reading it yet. I hear it's good. Comment down below if you think I should probably, you know, get moving and read this next. Yeah. Komi Can't Communicate. I bought this and volume 2 of it used. I think it's really cute. Alright, now we get into, you know, not all manga is lewd. Yeah, okay, this one is. I just think having a manga about a dominant woman and a submissive guy was a fun twist, so I bought it, and it's actually super wholesome somehow. I love this one. Last Gender. It's 3 volumes. It explores a multitude of genders and sexualities. Big LGBTQ plus advocate over here, and I just really liked the series. Love in Focus. I bought the omnibus version. Again, it was kind of I went to the bookstore and wanted a quick fix, and this was the complete collection, so I bought it. Loved this one. Love Me for Who I Am has a non-binary main character represent. But no, love this series. Highly recommend. Alright, now we get into the first of my Junji Ito collection. Love Sickness, this one was okay, but Junji Ito, Master of Horror, they ain't lying. I only own the first volume of Lucky Star, but it's cute and I'm glad I have it. Madoka Magica. So I have the first, like, original series, and then I have the different story, and then there's, like, 20 different spin-offs that I eventually will own. But there's 20 different spin-offs. Like, it's insane how many spin-offs of the series there are. Cute Yuri romance. This one's a full-color manga. Look at that. Full-color manga, and it's a wholesome Yuri romance. Very cute, highly recommend. Nana! I think I only have volumes 1 through 3. This is one of those older series that's really hard to find, and I'm surprised that they haven't, like, republished it as, like, a collector's edition in omnibus kind of form. Maybe that's because it's on a forever hiatus, which, you know, we can pray and hope finishes, and that the series gets a proper ending, but, you know, I'm not holding out hope. No matter how I look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular, is a series that I started collecting fairly early. It was another one where I kind of just saw the title, and I was like, you know what? I relate. It made me feel better about myself to kind of see somebody who was even more socially awkward than me. I really like the series. It's just a slice of life, comedy, it's great. Yuri romance. I only have volume 1, but it's another Yuri romance. That's really all I have to say about it for right now. Overlord, Overlord a la carte. Yeah, that's upside down. Overlord a la carte, Overlord, the Undead King O, and Overlord light novel version. I love this series. This series is so good, and I will eventually complete the collection and like read everything. Currently, volumes 2, 3, and 4 of this are holding up my phone camera. So thank Overlord for our video today. It's not hashtag not spawn. They did publish Paradise Kiss as a collector's edition. No, sorry, 20th anniversary edition. This is from the same person who did Nana. This one is complete, and I really enjoyed it. My one and only Pokemon manga. This one is a one-off, which I think is the reason I have it, but it's Mystery Dungeon, so the main character is a dude who turns into a Torchic, and I thought it was cute. Psycho-Pass, my favorite anime, which you might know if you've been here before. This manga, though, I enjoyed it, but it was really complicated. I didn't follow the story very well, and also, if I'm not mistaken, I only have up to volume 4, which I think is all that they translated, but I don't think volume 4 is the last volume of this series, because it doesn't feel like it ended. Maybe I just need to reread it, and maybe I was too young and I just didn't understand what I was reading, but honestly, I'm a little disappointed that, you know, there are other Psycho-Pass mangas that have not been translated, and then we get this, and then they don't actually translate the whole story. Like, what the heck? I could be very wrong. Please correct me if I am, because I would love to know if this is, like, a completed story, because I love Psycho-Pass. Speaking of series I love, Roko no Yusha. Here is volume 1 of the manga. Here's the light novel series. So good, so good, so good. Another series on hiatus forever, and I'm really sad about it. The good thing, I just went past the manga, but the good thing about the light novel series, it is on hiatus. It technically is not finished. However, if you liked the anime, this goes further than the anime. The anime only adapts the first of the series. There are 6. And while it doesn't finish, like, the overarching story, by the end of the volumes that have been published, it does conclude a very major part of the story. So, like, they don't defeat the big bad, but they defeat, like, you know, the big bad's second in command. So, like, it had a satisfying ending, but it's not, like, the ending. But we're never gonna get the ending, unfortunately. I love Roko no Yusha. It's so, so good. Hans Humpty for life. My Catboy Assassin. Scum's Wish. Not a Yuri romance, though there is, I guess there kind of is a hint of it. It's just a really dark, depressing, traumatic romance with a lot of unrequited love. I don't know. I was into it. I loved this series, actually. This is a one-off called See You at the Food Court. So, see you tomorrow at the food court. It's not a romance. It's just about 2 people who you don't expect to be friends who hang out at a food court. One of my favorite series that should not have been plastic wrapped. Sex Ed 120%. I understand why this sounds like it should have been plastic wrapped and marked explicit. Look, it even says parental warning, like explicit content. This is not explicit at all. It's literally like sex education class. Like, it teaches you things about sex, but it's not explicit. Like, the idea of sex is not inherently explicit. If I was monetized, this would be demonetized for how many times I'm saying the word sex. But I want to defend this book because as an adult, I learned things from this book that I should have learned in my sex ed class and did not. I would give this to students to read, but I would be too scared to because it's marked as explicit even though it is not. I'm defending this book. It's amazing. Alright, we've got 2 more Junji Ito as soon as I pick it up with my hand. We've got Smashed and Shivered, 2 more horror story collections, both of them pretty solid. Can you guess what I have next? And did you guess Yuri romance? Because you'd be correct. So Syrup's actually a Yuri anthology. Some of them are far more sexual than others, but they're all Yuri romance, and they're cute. Alright, folks, we are down to the last pile. We're almost there. I can very much wait to edit this video because it's going to be annoying. Anyways, we got Tokyo Ghoul. I don't have the full series. I'm currently reading it online because I want to actually read the full series, and I don't own it. So we don't tell them I'm reading it illegally. I'm sorry, I'm gonna buy it someday, I promise. Tomie, this is the first one I bought, and it was really good. And then I hesitated for a very long time to buy Uzumaki, because I thought, why are spirals scary? That sounds terrible. This one is my favorite. This is my favorite Junji Ito story. Don't doubt the horror of spirals. I don't know how he did it, but he made spirals scary, and he did an amazing job, and best Junji Ito in my opinion. I've not read all of his stuff, but out of the stuff I have here, which is Tomie and then the collections, Uzumaki takes the case. Fantastic horror. this is another manga that I haven't actually read that I own. It was in the mystery box. There was a lot of random stuff in there. This was my first purchase from that otaku manga cafe in Montreal I mentioned earlier. It's based on a video game that was an RPG Maker game, I'm pretty sure, and I love RPG Maker horror. I know this doesn't look like it's like a horror game, but like it kind of is sometimes, a bit. Speaking of RPG horror, The Witch's House, one of the classic and best RPG horror maker games, except for Ib. Ib, or Ebe, is the best one, no questions asked. But The Witch's House is also really good, and I am very impressed that these series have like gotten remakes, because you know, they were just free horror games. And now they're really cool and well done, and they're getting like manga spin-offs. If you like The Witch's House, definitely pick up The Witch's House, Diary of Ellen. We are almost at the end. Second to last is Wotakoi, which, so good. Well, probably my favorite romance, and that's including all of the Yuri romance I have. Two otaku weebs, which I relate to, finding love is, you know, it's every otaku weeb's dream. Wotakoi, so good, so wholesome, every weeb's romance dreams. And last, but certainly not least, we have another autobiography type style manga from a non-binary person. This is X Gender, written by Asuka Miyazaki, and they are a person who identifies as X Gender, which is kind of like the non-binary word in Japan. I love this. It's so nice seeing real-world representation from non-binary adults. It makes me feel valid, it makes me feel good. X Gender, fantastic, and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I just like slammed that on the ground. Oh my gosh, that is it. I'm gonna have some like B-roll footage of like the shelves before they looked like this throughout the video, but I did it. That's a whole collection, sort of. I didn't go through each individual volume, but you'll see that in the B-roll footage. And if you have any questions, please ask them down below. I forgot I'm a new channel. I was supposed to say like hashtag like, comment, subscribe. Actually, I just recently hit 100 subs, which is fantastic. I know who most of them are, but that's besides the point. I'm at 101 subs as of recording this video, and honestly, that's probably my main motivation for actually getting this done today, because I had to shower first, and oh my god, such hard. And then I had to pull every volume off the shelf, except for, you know, all of those. Just you know, hard work, hard stuff. But I'm really glad to be done with this. Oh my, I'm almost at 15 minutes of recording. Hopefully it's not nearly that long when I post it, because I'm not gonna get retention and watch time that way. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to share more Japan-esque related videos with you in the future. And thank you for your support. Really, though, like, comment, and subscribe. It does help, and it motivates me a ton, and just brings a smile to my face. So, let me bring a smile to yours by saying thank you for watching, thumbs up to you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.